Welcome to this week's Escape Your Limits podcast. In this episode, we're in LA for the Fit Expo. This event brings together thousands of fitness enthusiasts to discover the latest product innovations and to participate in workouts taking the industry by storm. During the show, we caught up with industry experts, influencers, and disruptors to discuss a diverse array of topics with Michael Myers and Dewan Woods, founders of the Ultimate Athlete Bootcamp.
I'll tell a client the first time I ever see him, I could care less if you ever lose 1 pound coming in here. If I can't change your mindset behind this, nothing will ever change.
We teach our clients to adapt that mindset so that when the storm comes, as they say, instead of complaining, we just learn to dance in the rain.
Stan Morisseau, weight loss specialist and founder of IMBULKY.
Stay focused on one thing and master it. Your brain is powerful, but you have to know how to control it.
Celebrity trainer to Halle Berry and Jessica Alba, Ramona Braganza.
Every mom out there can use this very gentle 12-week program. First phase is about your core, second phase is about cardio for weight loss, and third phase is strength muscle building.
And global dance and health coach, Andrew Dance Fever Jones.
When you think about kids, it's 100% because they're trying to get their parents to spend everything on what? Entertainment. Not realizing that we've switched into consumerism.
So please enjoy this week's episode of the Escape Your Limits podcast.
Slow feet don't eat. Tell me about that story. That's a pretty interesting summary you've given me.
I mean, slow feet don't eat. It comes from our mantra. Like, it comes from, if you're not fast on the football field, you're not gonna be on the field. If you're not smart in the classroom, you're not gonna be able to pass to the next grade. If you're not attentive in your relationship, your partner will find somebody else who will be there in a swift and timely manner.
Absolutely. It's all about, being assertive, carpe diem, seize in the moment. And a lot of times you don't have time to think, you only have time to react. And those great opportunities, you can capitalize on those if you're quick on your feet and you're willing to put yourself out there without thinking, without overthinking.
And it sounds like your family are not getting the food when you was younger, kind of went into a business opportunity.
Well, yeah, I often joke about that as, slow feet don't eat them, and has a literal meaning as well, especially if you come from a big family like me. When mom says it's time to eat, you better run into the dinner table or, your piece of chicken might not be there because my brothers will sure grab it. We're hungry boys.
So tell us a little bit about your business then. What was the origins of it, and what is its primary purpose?
Well, our bootcamp company is called the Ultimate Athlete Bootcamp, and it's predicated on making the average everyday person adapt the athlete's mindset. We put them in physically straining in adverse situations so they can find a way to be mentally tough and overcome what's in front of them by way of physical exertion.
Absolutely, and the Ultimate Athlete, we chose that name specifically. We wanted to be able to label it, and that, what is that? It is an individual with the ability to identify, assess, process, and overcome adversity. We understand that everyone's capable, but not everyone's able. And a lot of times, your mentality is the reason that stops you from progressing or being your best self. A lot of times, self-sabotage and you getting in your own way stops you from your own greatness. There's not a lot of external situations and adversities that can come and really shake you from the core unless you allow it. And being an ultimate athlete, we teach our clients to adapt that mindset so that when the storm comes, as they say, instead of complaining, we just learn to dance in the rain.
Yeah. So it kind of, just to piggyback off of that, we spent so much time teaching group fitness in major corporate gyms. And group fitness in a major corporate gym is just making sure nobody gets hurt, trying to correct form here and there if you can, and telling everybody you're doing a good job. That is not what we stand for. It is all about the coaching. It is all about being able to look somebody dead in their face while they're dripping sweat and say, that's not hard enough. Get back on the line and do it again, because your best right now isn't good enough. And the average person who never played sports, who never went inside of the trenches, never had that person look at them dead in the face and say, that's not good enough. So when they turn in that 20-page report at work and it's terrible, and their boss says, do it again, they don't know what to do. They sink into a rabbit hole and think that they're getting picked on. When in reality, their best wasn't good enough that time, and they have to line it back up and do it again.
And the perception, we talk a lot about perception being reality. And some people, they think, hey, this is my best. but no one is there to challenge them and push them to, hey, look, no, I see more in you than you see in yourself. You must believe in yourself. You must be able to see those adversities coming, identify them, assess them. And when you assess them, then you're able to reach into your toolbox and pull out all of the attributes that you've been working on, that you've been perfecting throughout your career to come out and be your best version of yourself, to put out that great paper, that great assignment, to walk into that meeting with confidence, to walk into the job and lead your team like you're supposed to, and to your best of your abilities.
Do you think that as a society, particularly younger people, like I've got kids and I see it a lot, that we're getting softer than what we were years ago in any way?
100%. Society is so soft, and competition isn't what it used to be. People shy away from competition. People want to take the trophies out of sports. Like, competition fuels greatness. You have to know how far you've come and how much further you need to go. It's a great measure. It's a great measure of self-confidence. It's a great measure of self-worth. And it's a great measure of your resilience, because you might not be the fastest in every single room. You might not be the smartest in every single room, but you have to compete. You have to know where you're at. And if you never line it up, if you never have your heart palpitating like that because you know you're in a competition, are you really living? And our kids today, everybody gets a trophy. We're just participating. Nobody can clap. Don't cheer. There's days in AYSO youth soccer where parents aren't allowed to cheer or clap. Why? Because Johnny has never scored a goal and he has never got those positive accolades. Maybe Johnny needs to stay after practice longer.
Yeah.
He needs to get better. And then maybe somebody will cheer for him.
Yeah.
But Johnny's gonna go into middle school, he's gonna go into high school, and he's been coddled his whole life. So when he goes into college, when he goes into the workforce, he's gonna be even softer than he was at 5 years old because nobody made him tough.
And he's a full-grown adult with the same childish mentality, the same, when something pushes, I crumble instead of pushing back. And then you pair that with instant gratification. And then they believe that greatness should be handed to them, not earned. They're entitled. They feel that just because I showed up, that's enough. When our philosophy is about getting 1% of being 1% better every single day, getting to that 1% of greatness. But it's not just showing up and clocking in 1%. It's about walking in, giving it 100% of what you have at that moment, and then fighting like hell to get that 1%. Because after 100 days of a dogfight of getting that 1% of greatness, you have a brand new you, but it's built off work. And that's what being an ultimate athlete is all about. That's why we have a youth athletic development program teaching those same principles, as well as, these young kids still have an opportunity. I was an NFL football player, won a Super Bowl with the New Orleans Saints, and I talk about my brothers and the dinner table scenario, but the competition element was prevalent in my family because we wanted to be the best when the street light came on. If not, I had to hear it all night from how my brother beat me at this or beat me at that. And how do I take that into my everyday life? Well, I want to be the best one in the classroom. I want to be the best one at my job. I want to be able to put in the best effort that I possibly can. And how do I do that? First of all, I walk in knowing that I prepared myself, and then I walk in understanding that I can only control what I can control. It's our 3 controllables. You can control your focus, you can control your attention to detail, and you can control effort. 10 out of 10 times, no matter what situation, no matter what scenario, and chances are, if you focus and you give it your all on all of those 3 controllables, you're gonna find success, or you're gonna find a lesson that'll break the game wide open once you're able to call that audible the next time and capitalize off of the things that you may have failed at or may have learned about in the past.
Do you think, or have you seen that these skills, if someone comes to you and they're on the soft side and they don't have that resilience, have you been able to see that people have been able to make that mental progress?
See, I'll give you 2 scenarios. I had a client back in the day, we'll call her Mary, just for name's sake. And she was soft. She was very insecure, very unsure of herself. And she came to UAB, Ultimate Athlete Bootcamp, and we weren't soft on her. We made her compete. We told her that she was capable of doing this. She suffered injuries and came back. We let her know that if you keep coming back within this community that we're building, it will uplift you and it'll help you transcend every other phase of your life. You'll be more confident in your job. You'll be able to go out there and find that person, that perfect partner for yourself. And then you'll financially be exactly where you need to be because everything in your life is flowing in a positive trajectory. So we have Mary over here, then let's talk about Margaret over here, who came in, same type of attributes, weak-minded, uncertainty, unsure of themselves, threw her in the same exact fire, and she crumbled and took it as a direct insult and thought that thought that I was just coming down on her. But no, I'm just trying to build you up and trying to build that athlete inside of you, but you have to let us do that. If you don't allow yourself to be humbled to the process, then you're never gonna be able to come out of the other side feeling strong and feeling confident about yourself.
I can see some people rising to the occasion, like your first example, but I can also see some people looking at you and almost like if putting themselves in a victim role and sort of saying, these guys are just, terrible what they're doing. Like, do you get that as well as the success, but do you get that pushback of people where they just think you're...
Well, yeah, absolutely. You have times where, they're like, who are you to tell me this? And that's where the coaching, come in. When we certify our coaches and we go through our curriculum, one of the things is knowing your athletes and knowing how and what to say to them in those moments. Some people are type A and will push back, okay? And it's like, hey, look, I'm coming from a place of humility. I'm coming from a place where I'm exercising deference, the willful submission of one's own wills and wishes for the wills and wishes of others. And I still want to lead with examples of where I have come up short, where I utilize the athlete's mindset and being mentally tough in my life, in my past experiences, to let them know that I'm not coming at a place of, picking on you. I'm coming down with a place of empathy to help you get out in front of the things you may be facing with so that you don't have to go through the same things that I did or that someone else may have went through. You can call that audible. We talk about audibles a lot. We use a lot of football terminology just because that is our prevalent sport. We understand that football is a sport where you can get hit in the mouth every play, but you got to line back up. And again and again and again and again. And if you can get over that and still get the job done, regardless of something that you can't control, if you can control what you can control, then your chances of success elevates tremendously, regardless if you think someone's picking on you or not. If you're not giving it 100% or you're not pushing and someone says, hey, look, I've seen you work. You have more in the tank. If you take that as someone attacking you, then it is the mental and the emotional strength that you need to work on, because your boss is not always going to like you. Yeah. Your husband, your wife isn't always going to agree with you. And in those moments, how much control, how much fortitude, what type of work have you put in internally so that externally you're able to, weather the storm?
You learn so much about somebody when you put them in that physical situation and you're not coddling them. So it's like we have to know the temperament of our athletes. Like, we have to know the temperament, but sometimes somebody's just not ready or cut out for it. And at that point in time, it's like the door is right there. It hasn't been closed the whole time and you're more than welcome to leave. But just know everybody else in here has gone through the same thing you have in one way or another. The verbiage might have been different because they're a different athlete than you. They have a different temperament than you, but everybody has gone through this and you are not above the team. And if somebody's not ready to adapt that philosophy, then they're not ready for Ultimate Athlete Bootcamp. And I see them quitting in every other phase of their life. I see why they're single. I see why they're unemployed. I see why the world is always out to get them, because you put them in one physical adverse situation and they crumble.
The wait is over. Our new Escape Fitness catalog has landed. This is the essential guide to all of the latest product innovations that are shaping the future of functional training. Bigger and better than ever, this year's catalog is 190 pages, jam-packed with everything from eye-catching, bespoke functional training frames to some of the latest strength training equipment. So sign up today to receive the digital version today, or be one of the lucky few to receive a hardbound printed copy straight to your door. So what are you waiting for? Go to escapefitness.com now.
What about kids? We had a gentleman on yesterday that was working with a lot of kids in situations and environments and cities that they're just the people around them, their parents weren't particularly great, and as a result, they were going in not particularly good directions. Like, how do you see this with kids? Because I guess you might, getting kids early on and teaching some of this is certainly going to help them have the confidence to direct their lives in a good way and say no to certain things and yes to certain things because they have, belief in themselves and confidence in themselves. So what do you do with kids and how do you apply those principles to set them in a good direction?
So, I head up the youth athletic development portion of the Ultimate Athlete Bootcamp in Frisco, Texas, and Dallas, Texas area. And one of the things that we implement is the same thing. We know our main goal, create an individual with the ability to identify, assess, process, and overcome adversity. See, the thing about children is they have forms of adversity that they don't even understand that's there. Imagine being a kid and you wake up every day. You don't know what's in the refrigerator. You don't care. You just know when you open the door, it needs to be some food in there. You need to be able to get to school. You look in the drawer and your clothes better be there. And if things that are not there, you can't comprehend that because, your friend Johnny has everything, that new Jordans and everything else, but how is it going to affect you as your kid, as a child who doesn't understand the depths of being an adult and the responsibilities that come along with that? So when all you care about is, can you play basketball for your team, school, football, etc.? So you just want to get better in your sport, but coming to our boot camp, we're able to take a clean slate. We love kids because they're not stuck in their ways. And we like to implement those philosophies and those mindsets through training, while at the same time teaching them the 8 basic fundamental movement patterns used in competitive sports. And taking that, and that's just the athletic development portion of it, but then also implementing the mindset training and understanding that they are just a kid and they don't understand adversity completely. And there's nothing like taking a kid who their most adverse situation is sleeping in the other room. Some kids, their dads cussing them out and tell them how worthless they are and that adversity is sleeping in another room. They got to wake up and deal with that. So you see them come out, and when their parents are around, they crumble on the field. But when their parents is gone, he's like, who is this kid? Catching all the balls, running the right routes, answering questions, and their dad pull up or mom pulls up and, yells at them from the sideline, and next thing you know, they're in the back of the line. They're crumbling down. It's like, okay, well, working with kids, we have an ability to get out in front of those things and maybe be that light that a lot of them don't have. And also be that push that a lot of them don't have. Because, don't tell Johnny's mama that he's not the best thing since sliced bread. She gonna come after you. Her brothers and sisters gonna come after you because, he's so precious and he can do no wrong, when he's a hellraiser. And he's getting in trouble and he's on his way to the penitentiary if someone doesn't step in and provide some structure, allow him to understand his purpose, and allow him to see what it is that you really want to do, and do you have the fortitude to keep fighting at it, even if you might get a few no's at first?
See, for me, dealing with kids, I like to build the confidence first and foremost. I like to start off with things that they're good at, that they can find victories in each and every day. And then we build off of those building blocks because they're coming to us because they want to be athletes. But most importantly, we want to make them better men, better women, better individuals when they leave us. So it's all about starting with the confidence. And it's fun to have that kid that gets it, that can go out there and run, jump, catch, and do everything. But I want the kid whose ball hits him right in the face, runs with the same arm, same leg. Because when you see that kid in 60 days, when you see that kid in 90 days, they get it. And they're looking like the kid they're looking like the other kid who already had it. They can run, they can catch, they can jump, they can do everything because they took the time to build the tools to learn that they wanted to be better. And they can take that athleticism and take it to school.
It sounds like when you say schools, it's like a lot of schools are not even doing any kind of physical activity. Like, how do you think you could get this out? I'd love to see this in more schools.
Yeah, so what's one of the main reasons why they took PE out of schools? Money, right?
Well,
and
I don't know.
Well, I would think that if we could eliminate a whole job, then that's probably opening up some funding for something else. Maybe, but Ultimate Athlete Bootcamp should be in schools.
Have you had success in doing it in any schools, or do you see there being an option to get it? Because I was reading a little while ago some of the research about, getting kids even before they start their studying to do some form of sort of physical activity. They focus, even the ones that have got, like sort of, what is it, ADHD, it kind of gets them very focused on the task, and they perform a lot better if they can do that. So there's almost like so many reasons why you'd want to get kids active without even the mindset, and yet it doesn't seem to be taken quite seriously. So how do you think more schools could, get involved in a program like that?
I mean, they have to believe in it first and foremost, and they have to seek out who they're going to allow into their schools to have direct access with their kids, first and foremost, because all we need is the access to get into the schools, and the work will prove itself. Like, the work will prove itself. It's just a matter of getting through the administration. Because if you look at the way society is going, they're taking away everything physical and making everything virtual. So it's like they have direct mind control over the kids because they get out of school and the only thing they want is an iPad, where's my tablet?
Meanwhile, childhood obesity is increasing rapidly every single year. And, all of these childhood obesity problems are turning into adult pandemics. And now the death toll is raising. More people are becoming sick. Big pharma's making a killing on, quick fixes and temporary Band-Aids. And the overall health and wellness of the world is plummeting, but it starts the same way that, in the educational system.
And the psychological impacts of things like social media that it does, that is, I don't think we fully appreciate like what kind of impact that has on kids mentally, and certainly in terms of their confidence and some of the stuff that you guys are teaching.
It's wild because what is it in cases of early adolescent girls? In the past 10 years, the suicide rate has went up like 50% or something like that.
Really?
And it's crazy. And it's like, what? Because they're looking at all the filters, they're looking at all the women who've been out there and had surgery but lie about it and say that they woke up like this. And the girl who's sitting in Iowa feeling insecure because she's going through puberty and breaking out with acne doesn't know what to do. And it's like, it's too much for her. I'm not getting the likes, I'm not getting the comments, I'm not getting any of that. But this is where society is trending. I see it on every TV show, I see it on every commercial, I see it in every movie. I hate myself.
And they don't believe there's an end in sight. They think this is life,
Right.
and this is what it's going to be forever. Not understanding that things come in seasons. We talk about, we have a saying, sometimes you get the bear, sometimes the bear gets you. And that's just about when something terrible, adversity situation comes into your life, you may win, you may lose, but you have another opportunity the next day or another opportunity to try it again or try to get it right. A lot of times, these kids, they just want to be right at something. They want to be accepted. They want to, someone to be proud of them a lot of times. And if you show a kid that, hey, look, I'm proud of you. Hey, you got that right. You praise. Now, we're sitting here and although we get on our kids and adults and we dog them, quote unquote, but we make sure that we give them enough positive reinforcements to kind of overlap that. Because, we want to praise all of the wonderful things that, adults and kids, do, but, we want to, give them like 5-to-1 ratio of compliments to ripping. And, as long as we, absolutely. And as long as we make sure that we keep that scale level, and confidence, and then when it's time to do some reprimanding, we can go at it full go without any remorse or anything of that, knowing that it's coming from a good place. It's just some good old-fashioned tough love, and society is missing that nowadays.
Yeah, society is missing.
So how are you franchising? Are you training instructors? How are you scaling this idea? Because I think more people need to see and experience this. I think it's a great idea that you guys have got. I really do.
So we're licensing the curriculum that we have. So we have 3 different curriculums. We have a strength training curriculum, a HIIT training curriculum, and an athletic conditioning curriculum. Those are classes that we're running right now, and we have a few others as well. And we're licensing those to various gyms throughout the country so they can implement the Ultimate Athlete Boot Set and Athlete's Mindset standard for their gym as far as their group fitness programs.
Right. And is the mindset part included in the, so there's a fitness element, but are you training people on how to coach that mindset element? And
So it's funny that you say that. Like me personally, on the back and outside of Ultimate Athlete Bootcamp, I have created a 4-quarter approach to winning life using the athlete's mindset. So that is like more mindset coaching as well. But during our classes and during our training sessions, it's all mindset. I'll tell a client the first time I ever see him, I could care less if you ever lose 1 pound coming in here. If I can't change your mindset behind this, nothing will ever change.
Yeah, totally agree with that. That's something that I've always believed in. Many years ago, probably 15, 20 years ago, I did a lot of stuff with Tony Robbins, and he used to have these like DVDs. That tells you how long I'm going back. Mm-hmm. But he had this health program, which was the first couple of DVDs was all mindset, and it was getting you ready to do it, and the rest of it was nutrition and exercise and all that, which I just sort of discarded because it was average. But the bit that was really getting you over the hump was this mindset part, because you were ready to walk through walls. He could have told you to do anything. And I remember talking to them at the time about how we could do something together about getting his mindset element into fitness. And I think it's great with what you guys are doing, because every top personal trainer I've spoken to on the podcast always say, you got to get their mind first, and then the rest of it is relatively straightforward.
Yeah, absolutely.
But putting that together and being able to deliver that in a program where you can actually teach people how to do it, because it's not easy to, like what you've spoken about. That's not something that's that easy to figure out yourself.
Right.
What's your background? How do you guys kind of figure out the how to put that together from a mental coaching perspective?
Well, I could start with me. I played NFL football. I had an opportunity to, win a Super Bowl with the New Orleans Saints. I also suffered a career-ending spinal cord injury, so nearly paralyzed myself from the neck down. It was about 2 years of limited mobility on my left side, with pain and nerve damage, and then you kick in the opioids that I were taking during the times, and just being and having to battle through those adverse situations, and relying on the principles that I knew about being an athlete. I knew, man, if I got hit in the mouth this play, I got to line up and do it again. And being in practice and practicing those things, putting yourself in, and we just talk about UAB being an adversity machine. Our job is to make it tough on you. They say fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Fatigue makes cowards of us all.
Get you tired, and then the true you will come out. The quitter will come out if you're tired. The champion will arrive, when you're tired, when you feel that you don't have anything left in the tank. We always say you got 2 more left. So when you're talking about taking someone who may not have been through the things that I have, and when we're looking for coaches and we're going through our curriculum and the mindset aspect of it, we're looking for military and or collegiate or professional athletes, because they already have a taste of that adverse. They've been through two-a-days. They've been through training camps. They've been through basic training. They've been through highly intensive adverse situations and came out on the other side. And even them, they need to understand that there's value in those things. There's principles if you just look at it. And if you've been in it long enough, you're able to identify those things, and then you can pass them on to someone else. And how it resonates to them, because everybody's adversity is different, but it's prevalent and it's present in everybody's life, no matter what. You talk about, if you're not in it now, keep living. Life will life you, and you better be ready to roll with the punches and dance in the rain. And when we're coaching our coaches about meeting people where they are, that's what we truly, and honest to God, reason why we do this, because we have been those, people with adverse situations. I've been in them. He's been in them. And we have stories to attest to that in the midst of the fatigue that they're dealing, to help them, grab hold to the reins and fight themselves, out of that dogfight and find success.
Yeah. For me, my schooling, I got my degree in child psychology. So everything to me is about the mindset and being able to get through to somebody's mind and find my way in. because there's a way into somebody psychologically. You just have to find it, because people will tell you everything that you need to know, either through their words, or through their nonverbal cues. And you just have to be able to pick up on those things. And I try to give my athletes a playbook. I call it a playbook, a strategy that they can always fall back on. When you're in the middle of adversity, you're always gonna fall back on your training. So if we can train them, if we can give them the playbook mentally to be able to overcome, to be able to identify, assess, process, and overcome any single piece of adversity, they'll always be able to fall back on that. They'll be able to fall back on it 2 years from now, 3 years from now, 5 years from now, because they have the playbook and their training is going to come through in their most adverse situation. Awesome. And that's all we're trying to do.
Well, look, I'd love to help out if I can. I appreciate your time. I know we've got to they're cutting us short now, but thank you guys. I think you're doing a wonderful job, and I'd love to stay in touch.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks, guys. Stan from Paris in
Yes,
Los Angeles.
Exactly.
Welcome to the Escape Your Limits podcast, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little about what you're doing at Fit Expo, because it's your first time here, isn't it?
Yeah, first time here. Oh, not my first time here, but let's say my third time. But it's my first time doing what I'm doing. Like, we have a brand, and also now they order us to put a booth. So this is the first time for me, and that's amazing. That's crazy.
Tell us a little bit about your business.
My business, so me, I'm a fitness. Like, I'm doing fitness. I'm helping people on online and also in person. And my main goal is to help people losing weight. That's my business. After that, we're selling clothes, like through what I'm doing to the show. Like, I sell the clothes to the show, because I started this last year, and it's been doing very well. Those people, they came to the show, they're losing weight, they lost weight, and people, they love it.
Now, you've created a specific niche, I guess, because there's a lot of people in fitness. Tell us a little bit about the niche you're in, and why did you choose to pick that particular one?
First of all, when I came here in America, everyone knows, like, the overweight situation is huge. So I said, okay, so I'm gonna focus on that, because a lot of fitness guys, they coach everyone, man, woman, wanna lose weight, wanna gain weight, you know what I'm saying? So me, I say we're going to focus on one thing, is those people. And after that, I say I'm going to do like a story, a show. So, because everyone can do what I'm doing, but not everyone can do the same thing. It's not gonna, because you can coach like overweight people, but the way I monetize, the way I share, I spread this story is amazing. People, they love it, because I talk to the guy, it's like, I want, like, people, they see your story through this guy. So after that, people, they are the same situation like him, they will lose weight, and that's gonna help them. This is my goal. It's not only to help only one person, it's for everyone. That's my goal.
And what's the name of your company?
My name, IMBULKY.
It's
IMBULKY.
IMBULKY.
I am bulky.
Oh, I am
Let's
bulky.
say, it's not I am, but I'm bulky.
I'm bulky.
Yeah.
And what is that? What is the meaning behind that?
The meaning about I'm bulky is like, yes, you look good, but it's like something like I'm loyal. When you're loyal with yourself, that means you respect yourself. And if you respect yourself, that means you can get whatever you want, because you focus. And after that, like, I'm bulky, the meaning at the end, the bottom line is your body is a luxury. But before that, you have to see yourself, like, you have to respect yourself. You have to be loyal with yourself, and you have to, like, be healthy, eat good food. After that, when you put all of this together, your body is a luxury. And when your body is a luxury, you're bulky. Yeah, it's not only bulky, because people, when you say I'm bulky, oh, I don't have muscle, so I'm not bulky. But when I explain them that way, they understand that it's not only about the muscle, it's about a mind, like your mindset, the way you treat your body. You have to treat your body very well.
What do you think attracts the clients that you work with to you? What is it that hooks them in, and why have you been successful in that?
Oh,
that
because my clients, actually, they are struggling, they are overweight. And someone who is overweight, it's hard for him to stop what he's doing, to cut his habits. So bad habit to eat bad food, like to go to restaurant every time. For them, it's very hard. And why it's getting successful is because after that, when you see those people, they can do what they think they can't do, they could not do. So that's amazing. People, they say, wow, if he can do that, I can do it too. So that's why people, they are attracted with this show, and that's why this show like blow up in 1 year. Yeah.
So tell us about the show then.
So first of all, for the show, the guy, he started with us, but for him, it was very hard because first of all, he has a problem, like a mental problem. So he said he has a ADHD, something like that, and for him, it's hard to stay focused. So I trained him for 5 months. We didn't see results at all. First, like the first 3 weeks, he lost weight, but after that, it was very hard for him. So that was very hard. People, they love this guy because he's struggling in his life. Like, they know it's not his fault because he has a mental problem. But after that, we had to cut everything because he could not keep going. So after that, I bring 2 guys, and those guys, they lost weight a lot. They lost one of them, like in 6 months, he lost 60 pounds, and the other one, he lost 50 pounds. 6 months, so that's good. The other one, he lost 0, and they lost like 50, 60 pounds. Yeah.
And are you using the show to almost like as a marketing
exactly
as well?
For me, that's a good marketing. But first of all, I didn't want to do that like marketing thing first, because me, I came here, I start from scratch. So it's step by step, those ideas came through my head. It's not like something I planned. Like, yeah, I wanted to do something in the fitness, but it's like I'm working on the road, and each time I have some new ideas. I didn't write down what I wanted to do. Yeah, I have a global plan, but I didn't know where I'm going. But I know the path, it will be okay. But what I'm gonna do, I don't know.
So would you say the show's the kind of center part to your business of how you communicate and deliver your message? Is that a key part of what you do? Or?
You mean like
is that central to compared to what other trainers do, for example? How important is that?
Because it's like motivational. Because other coach, even though when I was in France, I remember the way I was coaching my clients, it was like I was very interested into them. I was not like about the money. I was very like, hey, I want to see you win. I want to see, hey, did you lose well? Did you gain? You see, I was very like, you have to reach your goal. I won't give up. You know what I'm saying? So even if you pay this, it's not about the money. It's about your health first. Okay, of course, I do something for you. Yes, you're going to pay me, but I don't care about the money. And I will do that for all my life. It's not only about the money. First, I care about my client, about the person. That's why I saw people, they love it, because they see I'm not interested by that. What I'm doing, I love it. I love it. That's it.
And what's your philosophy like? Do you do any work where you're basically helping them mentally with a lot of this?
70% honestly is mentally. It's not about the workouts, it's not about the food. They have to understand what they're doing. So me, like if you watch the show, each time I talk to them, I don't talk about, hey, do this exercise like that. No, I don't talk about the reps. I don't talk about the set, because honestly, they don't care. They just want to give up. So me, I'm here like a friend, like a mentor, and I'm here like to help them out and to let them know like what they're doing. They can have bad things happen to them. They can die. They can have very serious problem. So me, I'm here like to help them mentally first, and then after that, when you're good here, like when you're okay in your mind, everything you will understand and everything will be okay.
How are you delivering that? Is it an online course, or is everything you do?
It is. It's online. First, I start with Instagram, okay, but TikTok is a main focus, because you can reach out to a lot of people, and the algorithm is very nice. Not Instagram. Instagram is of course I share on all platforms, but first TikTok. I use social media to do that, because social media honestly is powerful. Because in person, it's hard, because one guy will see you at the gym trying but he want us, maybe he would see you once, not twice. So the goal is people, they can watch that many times as they want. So is that because, you know, I've got like a lot of messages, people, they reach out to me, wow, what you said is crazy, that's so nice. I'm so motivated now to go to the gym and get out to the bed, and now I go straight to the gym. Me, that makes me so happy, but it's not me, it's them, because they love what they're doing. Yes, of course, I'm here, I made this, but it's not me, I'm not working out. They are working out, they are pushing themselves. So people, they got inspired by them first.
So your main platform is TikTok?
Yes,
is it?
TikTok.
And what kind of content are you, or what directs what content that you create?
Like mainly fitness, mindset. Sometimes I talk to them to explain them, like, you know, in life, if you want, because my goal, you know, is to say like your body is a luxury. So how people like to take care of, like to understand the fact why they have to take care of themselves. Because for me, honestly, you own only your body in this world. Your car is not yours, your house, you have to pay taxes, everything. So your body is yours, so, and you live into it. So you have to make sure like the roof are okay, the walls, everything. So yes.
And how do you monetize that? Do you use TikTok as a way to create people to buy programs, or how do you?
Yes, now there's something new on TikTok. Like you can sell on series. That means like you can put some workout videos, and people they can buy it. So me, what I do is like I just started that. Before the show, I didn't have program like on TikTok, because you know people, it's hard for them to get off to TikTok, go to your website, go to Instagram. They are so lazy. So you have to get them now, and you have to motivate them here on TikTok. If they're on TikTok, keep them on TikTok. So what TikTok did, they just made a series. So I made a lot of programs, first for the gym, because what I'm doing is that the gym is not body weight workout. So all my followers, not all of them, but most of them, when I do the videos, I put the link, and then they buy to the link.
And what sort of packages do you offer then? Are they like coaching packages?
This is not coaching. Me, my goal is to be free. Like I already made a program, they train. This is good for everyone, because of course I can coach you one by one, but I know money-wise, people, they are very, it's hard for them to invest in themselves. I don't know why, but it's very hard for them to put the money into the health. So that's why I made a program for everyone. It's very cheap. It's less than a coffee on TikTok. So that means like if you a teenager, whatever, you can buy the program. Or if you just want to support, you can buy the program. And this is something I put a work into it. It's very nice. It's a program specific for people that want to lose weight. So because my main focus is them. So yeah.
Right. And what do you when you're creating those programs, then do you focus on workouts and exercise that they can do in a gym, things they can do at home, things with body weight? How do you help them when they probably have lots of different places that they're going to train and exercise?
So for now, honestly, I'm only focused at the gym. After that, they can do that at home, because some of them, they have some equipment at home. So my workouts, you can do it also at home if you have barbell, if you have dumbbells. So you can do it too. But the main thing is to go to the gym, because why I say the gym, because when you stay home and you train first, it's very hard for you to train at home, because even me, you know, I have some equipment at home, I never touch them. You know, so I don't imagine someone who never work out, you know, like you work 9 to 5 and you think you're gonna train like for 3 months. No, maybe you will do that for 2-3 days a week and then once and then give up. So that's why my videos on the internet is like motivational, inspirational, and I want them to understand why you have to get out to your house to train. Because first, when you're gonna do that, you will build discipline. You see? So this will change your perspective on for life and for everything. Because training at home is nice, but if you can get out to your house, go to the gym, it's 10 minutes away, just go, because there's plenty of gym in your area, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, that's why I'm focused on the gym. But after that, yeah, when the summer will hit, I will start doing some program at home because this is the vibes.
How long did it take you to figure out how to make a business work on TikTok?
How long the?
How long did it take you to figure out how to make the whole thing work?
Like a month.
Oh, really?
Maybe, honestly, it took me like 2 weeks, but a month because I didn't put like my effort into it right away. If I want to, like in 3 days, I can do it. In 3 days, I can make a program like four workouts a week, boom, on TikTok.
Right.
Like 2 days. Even in 1 day, you can do it. It's up to you. If you want to put effort into it, you go to the gym, you record the videos. That's it. It's up to you.
And with on the business side though, how many like months or years had you gone from sort of zero to building that?
That amount of followers, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, it took, like in France, it was very hard because...
Oh, you did it before you came here?
Oh yeah, I started that before, but when I came here, that was tremendous. Like, I was like 100,000 followers on TikTok, for example, but that was not consistent. I didn't have a story to tell, nothing, because you need to have an audience. I didn't have an audience. I have 100,000 because I put like viral videos, but viral videos, like, there is no story into, like you put a video, you're dancing, you put a video, you shit. People, they are not focused, so you want to keep them like focused the whole time. So since I started that, the show, like helping overweight people losing weight, like mindset, motivational speech, like I have only people about that now. Only. When they follow me, they know like it's only about that. And then I went to from 100,000 followers to 1,000,008. Now I bring down because sometimes it's like that, but now I bring down 1,000,007.
What would you say are some of the biggest lessons that you've had then from as you've learned about that platform from a business perspective? Is it like one of the things you just mentioned then is really narrowing down and focusing on just one particular thing, and which kind of makes sense, but I can also see how easy it is just to do all kinds of stuff. Yeah. So what are some of the like takeaways that anyone that's listening can probably learn from?
Just stay focused on what you want to do, because when you want to do many things, at the end of the day, you do nothing. That's it. You're tired and you can burn out. I remember when I used to do many things, I could not focus, and I didn't see where I was doing. You see, so that's why I say like stay focused on one thing and master it. Of course, you can do many things, but first you have to master this. When you're done with that, okay, do something else. But first you have to be the boss here, and then after that you can go do whatever you want.
Do you have a particular avatar that you imagine when you're talking and communicating and creating?
Me, like avatar, like animals, something like that.
So like, do you have a particular person in mind that you're talking to or creating things?
Yes, like people who are very lazy. People, who are very lazy and overweight, like people, they don't want to invest in themselves. That's my, that's the people where I focus.
Right. Where do you think where do you want to, like, you're obviously a motivated person, you've got a clothing line now, like where would you like to take your business next, and how are you?
Oh, next level. I want to go to next. The brand IMBULKY, I want to make it like a luxury brand. That's why I say your body is a luxury, and that's why the color are black and white, like the logo. And I want people like they understand that their bodies is a luxury. They have to, when they wear this t-shirt, the shirt, oh, I look good. You see, I look good. I'm healthy, and I'm a good person. Because when you're a good person in your brain, you feel good and you feel healthy. When you eat, for example, like junk food, yes, you will feel good when you eat that, but when you look at yourself at the mirror, oh, damn, what I did to myself. You see, so it's that. You have to be good in your mind, and then everything will be okay. You will be healthy, you will look good.
And are your clothes for your clients predominantly?
Yes, exactly.
Right.
That's, even the clothes. When I started, I didn't know that I will do that, that was not in my, even the logo, I didn't have, that's my point. I just start with just one idea. and then I walk through. That's it. Every day I write down my mistakes, like what I can do, what I can improve every single day. And you know what? All of this by myself.
By yourself.
Video, like the going to the gym, like no one helping me.
Really? You don't have a small team?
Even the brand.
You don't have a small team to do your video editing?
Nothing.
Really?
Everything by myself. You know, and after that, even the workout, the editing, like the clothes, I have to reach out to those people, everything by myself. That's why.
Oh, congratulations.
That's why, you know, life is, when you focus on one thing, if I was focused like on many things, like doing juice, doing a protein shake, I can't. I will burn out, and what I will do, I will give up. But when you focus on one thing, I promise you, your brain is powerful. But you have to know how to control it.
I think that's a challenge for every business, and it's funny we're having this conversation because I had I was putting together a document today, a business-related one, and I think it takes a lot of discipline because as you expand in business, and I'm sure it happens to you, you probably get lots of people now reaching out to you with all kinds of opportunities. I'm sure, you're a sort of you look the part, and I'm sure lots of brands want to work with you, but in some ways that can be your biggest weakness as well, because as you say, then suddenly you're doing 50 things and none of them are really as good as the one thing that you're doing. And so I meet more people that don't focus than I do that do focus.
That's the point.
And I've struggled with this through my whole, as much as I've known this for many years, it's something I continue to struggle with. There's always, they call them these shiny objects, and it's quite tempting.
I know many people too, and many they want to do many things, and after that you can, because I don't say you can't, because if you want to do something you can do it, but after that you have to be very strong.
Right.
Very, very, very strong.
Yeah. And I like the point you mentioned, and I think it's true because I think that there's a lot of people that are probably, like 8 out of 10, and it's very crowded and it's very competitive. But there's very few people that are 9 out of 10. But it's like one step away. But I think that difference in a lot of cases is you almost have to have that focus, because the 8 out of 10 have probably got lots of stuff going on, but the 9 out of 10 is like, okay, they're no different to everybody else, but they're just like that extra bit of time that I'm spending on 2 or 3 things. If I put it into that's just going to give me a 9.
Exactly.
It's like now that I'm happily married and been married for many years, but it's in my younger days, I had a few girlfriends, and it's the same thing. You either put that energy into one person, or it's a headache.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know whether that's the best metaphor, but
no, this is right. Exactly the same thing. If you focus on too many girls, you're lost. Yeah. But when you focus on one, she will make you successful.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I had someone gave me that lesson many years ago, thankfully, before I was married. So are you going to build a team at all, or are you going to?
Of course, because as you started. Right. I don't want to. I know you have to invest, but when you just start something, you can't invest too much. Yeah. So today I'm doing this with my girlfriend. We do that together, so it's fine. But I think maybe in a few months, because I'm going to start the show like in February, in a few weeks. So I think I will need like someone who can record a video for me and edit at the same time, because otherwise it's too much time. Because last year I struggled a lot. And when I watch back what I did, wow, that was crazy. Like editing, doing this. And now this year I wanna control it like very well, everything, and maybe like do something better, like with a script, because with the show it was something natural. Like I'm talking to you, do this, but now I want to make this like a show, like Netflix or something like that. Not like them, but something like you are down everything, like very serious. So people, they will love it very, like more, I think.
What other platforms are you using outside of TikTok, or are you just sticking to that?
I use TikTok, Instagram, mainly. After that, YouTube, I put that on YouTube, because the video, when I make the video, is like that. This like horizontal.
Yeah.
So it's already, I put that on YouTube, but I want to make this like a show, like people between the videos, between the show, I will talk. I try, but that took me like too much time. But now I will do it because I know it's gonna work. That's why I want to hire some people that can use the video for me so I can do that.
Fantastic. Well, Stan, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You've done very well. And
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to staying in touch and seeing how things grow.
Yes, thank you so much.
Thanks. Ramona, thanks for joining us today.
Yes, thank you for having me.
Baby Bulge Be Gone, is that the program?
There's
One of
that
the
program,
programs?
one of the many programs, yes. At the time, I was working with 3 clients that were named celebrities. Halle
share
Berry, Halle Berry, Jessica Alba, and Ashley Simpson. They all had their babies, first ones. And I literally was like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to learn how to do the pregnancy and the postpartum. So I did it, and strangely enough, at the time, there was Us Weekly and all these magazines, and they were like, how did these ladies lose the weight? Oh, it's Ramona Braganza. And then I was like, what's the name? Baby Bulge Be Gone. So that's how Baby Bulge Be Gone came around.
Was the exercise ideas and philosophies then similar to kind of what's in trend now? Like what kind of stuff was part of that program, and how did you get it gone so quickly?
Right. Well, I've always believed in strength training for women, and it doesn't matter what age or generation. It's about keeping your muscle tone and getting your body fat down and all of that. So I focused on that. I kind of modified during the pregnancy the different trimesters, because there's certain contraindications. But after you have the baby, it's really just about doing the work. So 5 days a week workouts in their home. And they wanted to get the weight off because they had a goal, either a movie or a photo shoot. So I had Jess at 28 and Halle was 42 at the time. So the difference, they both got back into shape, was a little different, like how long it took. But
Roughly how long did it
like
take?
28, about 12 weeks
Okay.
to lose the 20 pounds. And then 40, maybe a couple weeks longer. But really, it's a workout program like everything else. You have to sweat, you have to be committed, you have to dedicate, so that's kind of how it happened.
How many years ago was that one then?
Okay, that would have been 2008 when they both had their first, well, all 3 had their first babies at around the same time. And now Jess is on her 3rd, and I think Halle had 2. So, but it's still about every mom out there can use this very gentle 12-week program. First phase is about your core, second phase is about cardio for weight loss, and third phase is strength muscle building. So that's how I've kept it, and you can order it online.
It's interesting because now there's a lot more, certainly in the last few years, there's a big swing to strength training and women to do strength training, which kind of wasn't really always there, was it? Like you were probably...
I was at the very beginning, I
Okay.
would think, of the 80s. So I came in 81 or 2. I was auditioning for the Raiderettes, the football team. And I was a former competitive gymnast, so my body was quite, not thick, but different shaped. And at the time, I was trying to do these silly things like not eating for, 3 days, starving, and then eating. And then it was really kind of a yo-yo thing until there was a trainer that said to me, I think you need to add strength training. And literally that changed the game. So I went into fitness contests and did quite well. And then I became a trainer by chance, but really for me, I still strength train. I'm 62, and I've seen my mom, who's 88 and can lift bags, and that's what I want to be. I want to be functionally fit. So strength training has got, why do we do it?
I was at a conference last week in Austin with Dr. Gabrielle Lyon, and she was, this was a big thing there. There was a lot of influential women at this event as well, and there was a lot of talk around about the protein and the diet as well as strength training.
Yes.
What's been your philosophy from nutrition perspective?
When I started out, like I said, I was in fitness contests and I had a very strict regime. And you learned about nutrition and diet if you did bodybuilding. It is very strict, so it's not a lifelong habit. But you take those guidelines, I guess, and transition them into your life. So at the time, I was thinking about it. I used to come to these shows and have my little tuna mixed with the like oatmeal, and it was just, that's what you ate. You never went to this concession stand. But as I'm able to actually maintain my body with my rigidity, but it's not 90%, let's say it's 70%. So sometimes during the week I'll do have other things, but I'm probably more aware of how much protein I have during the day, how much fiber. I try to have my fruits and vegetables and the water. It's always a struggle, to stay clean and lean. It's challenging, but it's possible.
Right. And you also work with other people that are getting ready for movies as well.
Yes, yes.
And what's when you, and I know everybody's different and all the movies are different, but are there any general philosophies that you have about fitness and nutrition that kind of, apply to everything as much as, or particularly the people that you work with?
Yeah, so when they come onto a film, like for example, and there's different scenarios. I worked with Scarlett Johansson on a film in Scotland, and she'd just come off, I think it was Avengers or something, or where she was the Black Widow, and it was so strict for her, she couldn't take it. So she said to me, she had taken a month off, and she's like, I don't want to do any weight training, and I want to eat kind of what I want. And I was like, okay, we can try that. But I knew that once she started slowly into the exercise program where we did it in her home and we did a few, it's like you want more because you've been there before. So now she wanted to go back to the gym and start to do weights and kind of watch her diet. And so I guess for me, I find actors are very focused on the role during the role time, but they're like everybody after that. They're kind of like, they realize they have to put some time into it. So I always think there's going to be an ebb and flow in your life, and I don't try to make it so strict that, whoever you are, it has to work in your life. Everything from sleep, it's all about that. It's about sleep, it's about eating, and diet, it's about movement. So what I do is, even with the actors, even as strict as they are, it's after they're done, I kind of like want them to take this into their daily life. And you can do it for disease control. I have heart disease and diabetes and all this other stuff in my Indian parents' background. So I have to really, as I age, monitor my numbers, like go to the doctor and see what's happening and try to get more cardio in. And so it's hard to tell. People look like they're in shape, and sometimes, well.
it's different on the inside. Yeah, you're right. What about you mentioned sleep? And that's a difficult thing, I guess, to manage with your clients because you're not there. How do you how do you kind of figure that out into what you're trying to achieve and probably what's going on in their lives or in their jobs or whatever outside of that?
And I can speak pretty well to Jessica Alba. I've been her trainer previously for 12 years, and now I'm back with her, and it's the second year. And at 42, she's really interested and on top of her stress management, she does daily meditation. She does a lot of modalities, like not so much yoga, but a lot of things like healing things like sound baths and all of that, more to help her manage stress. And then sleep, she gifted me an Aura ring. That's the ring, I was gonna wear it, yeah. The Aura ring, which literally she'll say, what did yours say today? So
are you part of a circle, are you?
Well, it's just me and her usually, especially in the morning when I work her out and all, but it's a check. And so I think you have to take responsibility for yourself. And sleep, they didn't know is so important, but I know for me personally, 8 hours, I have to have 8 hours most of the time. If not, if I have 7, it's weird. I have this funny metal taste in my mouth, like I feel like I haven't slept enough. So your body is this chronological time, it's on a chronological time clock, and so you really have to, some people are night people, and trainers are never night people. So that's we just kind of get up with the sun and yeah, so sleep's super important. And my client, Jessica, like I said, is very into a lot of the new technology that's coming out, wearable technology. And I think celebrities are always gifted the most interesting, newest things. So I take all my cues from her sometimes. So I'm kind of getting into the meditation and all of that.
I was, we were at this event again last week. They were talking about, using things like, there was a lady from Whoop, and they were talking about Aura as well, but the time, food timing and how I kind of been doing this intermittent fasting or time restricted eating. That's it. 16/8, and it took me a while, and I kind of figured the whole thing out, and I'm like, yeah, this is working. And then they were like, yeah, but the problem is that you don't want to be eating, 3 hours or so before bed, because that's going to then mess up your sleep score, which I notice it does. It takes a while for my heart rate to come down. Do you get involved in food timing as well in order to help with recovery or whatever they're trying to achieve?
I recommend it.
Right.
So I've always eaten a certain way too. I stop eating at 6. That's the end of my. That's kind of it's early, but for me, because I go to bed at early.
What time do you go to bed?
Like 9 something.
Okay, so yeah, so it's 3 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, it doesn't mean I don't sometimes feel like I need a snack. So, sometimes maybe there's something small, but it's not a meal or something. The last meal is at 6, and I'm starving by 6. So then if I get up at, sometimes I usually am up by 6:30 a.m., so by 7 I eat because I'm starving. And then it kind of is like the rest of the day is another meal and a couple snacks. So my brand is 3-2-1. So three cardio, 2 circuits, 1 core is the workout. And it's also 3 meals, 2 snacks, and a minimum 1 liter of water. That was my guideline for eating. But definitely there's a timing thing. You want to eat earlier in the day and less at night, and what you eat during that time.
Well, you've got an interesting charity. Tell us about that.
Okay, so at a certain point in my life, I realized I had a pretty good run. I worked on 50 Shades of Grey and all this stuff.
What did you do on that?
Oh, I trained Jamie Dornan and Dakota for 2 and 3, 50 Shades 2 and 50 Shades 3. And then I had also, I think, just personally felt like not reached my height of what I wanted to do, but I wanted to give back, and I thought, what am I going to do? So I channeled somehow my energy into India, and I wanted to go back to India. I went to India, and I went with the Catholic Relief Services, went down to the red light district and found an organization that rescues girls from trafficking and then puts them in a safe house. So I went out to the safe house, and these are like age 8 to 18, and they're young girls who literally have no job skills. They don't have a family. They have a locker and a bed. And I thought, well, have you ever tried exercise? So we did some working out. And then I thought, why can't this population become trainers? Because there's huge discarded girls in third world countries and other places. So I got a female trainer, to go to the house and start working them out. We had 20 girls graduate. There was some gyms now allowing girls to come and be trainers. So we're still at that phase, then COVID hit. So now I've looked at locations in the US, and we work with one in Oklahoma City. There's a safe house for girls, and we now have our program in there where they work out daily and they can have an opportunity to become a trainer and make money. Wow, and that's what I'd like to grow. It's called 321empower.org. And that's, I think, my next major thing in life. I just want to transition into that and helping that.
Wow, fantastic.
Yeah.
And then finally, you've got this True Niagen t-shirt. Tell us a little bit about what you've been doing at Fit Expo.
Yes, I am here at the Fit Expo. It's the first time True Niagen is here. They are, so they developed the NAD plus product that basically puts that back into your body, because as we age, we lose NAD plus. It's scientifically based. Lots of studies have been done on it. And you want NAD plus for many things, for metabolism, for cellular energy, for even eyesight. Stress is a big factor in our lives. This helps to replenish you with NAD plus. So I'm here with them. We have a booth down there right by the big floor where I just did a workout with everybody. And tomorrow we have a special panel. There's going to be an all-female panel. And I thought about that last year because I was on a panel with 8 guys or 7 guys, and I thought, why isn't there an all-female panel? So tomorrow you can come in and listen to 8 ladies talk about everything from menopause to pregnancy to, it's for women, empowering women. So.
Fantastic. And is this product just
sponsored
for
by
women?
True Niagen?
So
True Niagen's for everybody.
Okay.
True Niagen is a sponsor at the Fit Expo, and so they're going to sponsor the panel as well, but it's for everybody. We all lose NAD+.
Right. So would it kind of make me look younger as well?
Well, I'm 62,
well,
and
yeah,
I take the new 1,000 milligram amount, and it's part of my routine, so I don't know.
All right, well, I need to give that one a try then.
Okay.
Ramona, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much, okay.
Great to meet you, my man.
Nice to meet you too, King.
Thank you for teaching me about Reeboks.
Oh, yes. Reebok pumps are back. Everybody gets some Reeboks.
We've what people can't see is behind the camera, we've got 3 children, and we're going to kind of be talking to them unconsciously.
Yes.
And I've just sort of educated myself and my kids that we're going to switch from Nike back to Reebok.
Yes, and then get some stock in both.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're going to see me in my Reebok pumps.
I can't wait. I'm excited. Team Reebok, Shaq, hook us up. Yeah.
So what are you doing here at Fit Expo then?
Everything. So I facilitate group exercise, dance, fitness classes, but I also support everybody. I'm like a Fitness Expo mascot. Due to my tenure, I've been with the Expo for like 10 years now. Every expo, we've traveled to different cities, states, and I'm just a staple in energy, support, and influence.
The energy thing
Come
I
on.
go with. I was, I wish I could dance half a fraction as good as what you do. So you're gonna have to get some of those. I'm gonna have to come to you get some of those lessons on about how
I got
to move.
you, and I'm self-taught, so I can teach you. I'm really a good teacher because I had to teach myself.
I think there's just some natural ability in there.
I mean, maybe a little bit, but not. Dancing is interesting because it's literally repetition and freedom. So once you kind of connect those two, you'll realize you may not be free mentally.
Oh, is that what it is? Is that probably so? Because it's like art, I guess, isn't it?
Yeah.
There's no right or wrong way to dance.
If you're confident enough to feel that way, and that's how I am. I've always danced to truly express, not to win a battle, but literally to express, like almost like a crazy person. Where I was that dude in college, had the boombox, and I don't know what I was doing, but I was doing something, literally. And that has kind of stayed with me because it's just about personal expression. And I think that that's what's taken me so far, because whether you know it or not, I'm literally just doing what I want to do. You can't critique my dancing because it's not for critique, it's spiritual for me. You know what I mean? I'm trying to make somebody smile or make somebody happy or make myself free. So I don't really I've never prescribed to any specific law because I think that movement comes, that's what's natural about it. Right. You know what I mean? It's organic. Anybody, like any dance style, we just need to find your dance style.
Right. So it's not about, you don't have like your specific moves, you're just feeling it.
Yeah. And of course, throughout time and doing it for 20 years now, I can say, oh, that's like a salsa move. Oh, that's like a crump move. Oh, that's body control. That's animation. But conceptually, I was just dancing and fell into styles. But I'm always just doing what I want to do.
Let's talk about kids.
Okay, here we go. My favorite topic.
How did you get into coaching, influencing, or getting kids pointing in the right direction?
If I can go here first, living a very traumatic life gave me purpose. So as soon as I graduated from high school, went to the nightclub, I found something I could do that nobody else could stop me from, and I immediately wanted to give back. It was like immediately, because I'm going to college, I'm like, if this is making me feel great, I know that kids in my city could feel great. So I'm talking about immediately. I had a friend from high school come into my job. I'm like, bro, guess what I'm doing now? I'm dancing. I taught him first, and then his little brother. And then next thing you know, we're at a park, and I'm like, oh, this is a tool. And kids had to bring their report cards. They had to connect. They couldn't use foul language, couldn't use substances, but it was almost like an organic thing. And now you have this horde of kids entrusting in me to be their leader. But it was just immediate. And I realized with that connection that this was my purpose and gift because I didn't have a childhood. So now I'm a grown child that can relate to all kids and have that rapport, have enough youth to be able to be listened to, all connected through movement.
What do you think is the biggest challenge for kids today?
The biggest challenge is they don't know what they're being sold. We come from a time to where things were somewhat pure because everybody couldn't sell. Think about it, right? If you danced at a nightclub, you remembered it, we talked about it, but it wasn't, I didn't go and dance at a nightclub to be disingenuous, to record it, right? And when I took a statistic class in college, what they said was as soon as somebody knows they're being interviewed, most of the time they answer incorrectly. So I feel the kids can't connect that they're being sold false things, right? Even if you look at the expo, you'll see a lot of influencers and they're doing staged acts. But for you at home, you're like, oh, this is real. This is what I want to do, to where you don't know that, no, this is just entertainment. And we come from a time to where we still had grasp on real education. So I think that the struggle is not understanding that you're just being entertained in every single way, right? And I listened to something the other day. They said most people will spend $50 on entertainment for every $1 of education. Poor populations will spend 200 to 1.
200.
So when you think about kids, it's 100%. Because they're trying to get their parents to spend everything on what? Entertainment. Not realizing that we've switched into consumerism completely, to where all of us weren't consumers back then. Think about it. But now they're struggling with overabundant consumerism, not realizing that they just want you to buy stuff the rest of your life. What type of life is that? Think about it. So yeah, that is long-winded, but yeah, that's how I feel.
Now you're getting kids moving. How do you feel about getting them off the couch, off the phones, and what kind of effect do you think that's having on kids?
It helps you connect with your superpower, right? All of us have ancestors, no matter where you come from. So to get up and get moving, you connect with something that can't be seen, that can't be sold. You're connecting to something from a source, right? It's like love. When we feel love, you can't define it, right? Like when you actually feel love, like the love we feel for our kids, you can't define that because you're willing to die. You're willing to live for them. You do anything for your kids. I feel like when you start moving without visual influence, you kind of connect to that superpower, right? Because everything in life is not to be articulated and explained. There's some things that are just, it's energy. Think about it.
Presence.
Yeah, and if you can't be present, if you can't move and feel yourself, what are you? Think about it. An unhealthy person, what are they? You're just your habits of what you eat.
Right.
But you don't move. You don't have a value. You're not moving. You're not running. How is your body functioning? What can you prove to me? Nothing. So when you get moving, you connect to your greatest level of self. When you get moving, you can have the opportunity to self-actualize, becoming the most you can be. Because think about it. You could have $1 billion. You could have all these different things, but if you can't move, can I just come and take it from you? Think about it. If you are an unhealthy person, I can just come take what I want. So how are you at the top of your game? If you're a skinny billionaire that doesn't work out, doesn't eat right, what are you? Have you self-actualized? Have you become the most you can be? Or do you need to have a disciplined workout program, a way to express yourself, a way to educate yourself, a way to help people so that you can actually be everything? Because I feel like maladaptive theologies come from a lack of movement. You ever talk to somebody that doesn't work out?
Yeah.
The ideologies they try to sell you?
Yeah.
My son got a phone call. It was ice cream. I found this new ice cream place, and I'm thinking to myself, why is that the first conversation? To share with him ice cream. What is ice cream? Sugar, milk. We know we're not supposed to be drinking milk like that now, but you've connected happiness to toxicity. So moving is the way to get back centralized to health and wellness.
Is that movement the first step in a process then?
I would say yes, right? Because if you deal with anything maladaptive with kids, adults, anything, I always assess, what do you do for the release? People haven't jumped or ran for years. They haven't moved, they haven't danced, and they'll have reservations about movement. And you can start to identify issues based off a lack of movement. Like, let's say posture. If I talk to a young lady and she's like this, does she play a sport? How does she feel about herself if her shoulders are rolled forward? That's low self-esteem. That's somebody treating you poorly. So if I can get you to roll back, roll up, sit up straight, that's a confidence thing. Young men, same exact thing. I have to talk to my teens about, not being bullied and such. And I say, I have a specific walk for every scenario. I'm not a tough guy, but I know how to walk with authority because I know how to move, right? Interesting fact. Young men that fight, right? I was explaining to a group of boys the other day, I said, none of you guys can fight. They was like, no, I've been in fight. I said, no. Do you go train and fight though? And I said, do you know what training to fight is? Boundaries. A Muay Thai person sets a boundary so that he can effectively fight you. So think about it. People have constructed a whole life without actual movement. And all of that is a fraudulent space to be in because you're living a life that's not real because you really don't move. You're yelling at school because you really don't fight, but you fight. Think about it. So that movement creates synergy back to reality.
Now you work with a lot of kids. How many, what are you saying, like 3,000
At my home site, we got about 3,300 students.
3,300 students.
And every single one of them know me. because I'm intentional about making sure that I see and feel everyone, because everybody's important.
What kind of background are those kids from? You know, what are they like when they come to start
Man,
with
we're
you?
talking the specific area, probably the worst part of town. So, you know, when they walk to school, they have to walk past drug dealers, drug addicts, prostitutes, gang members, the type of environments to where, hey, did you hear that? There was a shooting around the corner. Like around the corner, you know, you'll see the craziest stuff right there. So they're coming through HE double hockey sticks basically every single day to try to come to a place to, one, escape their destructive environments at home, but also to avoid the destructive environment that they have to walk through to try to be better. So it's a bad area, but I mean, they're great kids, they're great people.
You mentioned when we were walking up that your goal is to get them out of those types of environments. So what do you mean by that?
What I mean by getting them out, and this is never a shade to any small city, but I think that people need to understand the goal should always be self-actualization, and you can never self-actualize where you were raised.
Just say that again. Let's
The goal is self-actualization for everyone, which is becoming the most you can be. And you cannot become the best you can be if you only stay where you were raised. There's over-familiarity, correct? They've seen you too much. When you come out in the world, just like at the Fitness Expo, people are excited because they don't actually see you. There's an excitement with a fresh presence and energy. So my thing is using your youth to get out, explore, learn, enjoy, and then come and repurpose it to the next generation, because that's the only way that we can heal the city. Because sometimes I feel like I speak so real about things. People be like, oh, you don't like it here? It's like, it's not that I don't like it here. I'm fine. I've self-actualized. But the reality is the only hope that any place has is the youth, man. They're the only people that can change the environment, right? Because adults get very fixated into their life and ideas, and they'll fight you to the tooth and nail. But kids have the opportunity to see, hey, I don't have a dad. I want to know why, Mr. Jones. Okay, well, let me tell you my story, and let me tell you what a dad is supposed to do. Let me tell you what a mom isn't supposed to do. Like I shared with some kids this week, we were talking about, because in urban communities, parents just don't like their kids, seriously. Waking up at 2 a.m. to yell at a kid over a dirty dish. We discussed this. And I said, do you know how miserable you have to be to wake up and scream at your kid that has to go to school about a dirty dish in a cup? I don't care if my sink is full of dishes. I'm not waking him up because I'm a rational person. One, I could be like, he has school. 2, these dishes are probably my fault. And 3, it's not the most important thing because he's bringing home a 4.0, right? He's sleeping. But we discussed in that space, like, what is that? And that's when I shared with them, I said, I'm trying to separate you guys from that mentality and share with you that that is insane. It's not normal. You go to Irvine, California, people ain't waking up at 2 screaming at their children, right? They're doing you guys like that, and why is it all 10 of you? Because people out here they have issues. Would you agree? That's pretty crazy, right? So being that actual change with evidence-based practices to help these kids break out of these cycles, because those are the cycles that swallow people up. Because how can you become a productive person if you don't know that being woken up to wash a fork at 1 a.m. and still being expected to function in school is insane? How can you become a productive person? You're gonna wanna smoke, right? You're gonna wanna drink. You're gonna want a boyfriend or girlfriend. You're gonna wanna feel good by any means.
How do you get them because they're also going to be around a community of other kids, and there's going to be peer pressure, whether that's from the guys or the girls, and they're going to get influenced by wanting to fit in,
right?
Which is very difficult, particularly for both guys and girls. Different types of bullying. How do they sort of move into a different direction, stand up for themselves, believe in themselves, and not end up caving into peer pressure, essentially?
Okay, so here we go. That's 2 parts. So I really try to define to these kids what the school system is about. So I always ask, do you know the purpose of school? Nobody knows. Nobody knows. Literally, it'll be like, education, I'm like, what are you talking about? You been watching TV? And I start here, I say, do you know why they serve you breakfast? Because we're hungry. No, they serve you breakfast so you can function between first and third period. Do you know why they serve you lunch? So you can function from fifth to seventh. They're like, what? And then I dial it back another level, right? Because people receive government aid. So I let them know, do you know that government aid is only given to your parents so that your parents get you to school and to activities? But in the hood, the parents treat the money that the government gives them like it's their money. And the kids may be beneficiaries of that support. So as I start to break that down, they're like, yeah, they do treat the money that they get because of me and my siblings like it's theirs. And I share with them, your parents don't have anything. They should be clothless, right? They shouldn't be gluttonous because all that money is for you guys. And they're getting paid to be parents, essentially, but they're not being parents. So once I dial those two pieces back, we say, I need you to treat school like business. This is a business that they force you to come to, that if you complete it, it will pay you back. Because if you grow up in poverty, they'll give you free money for college, and then you could get a teaching credential and immediately get, you can immediately have an income and then figure out what you want, because the education system was created for you. It wasn't created for the people that already got the families and the houses and the stuff. No, it was created for, it was to equalize the playing field. So if you can come here and treat this like a job and sit in the hallway at lunch, let me show you the students that are never seen. This is what I need you to be. So we start there. We break down Maslow's hierarchy of needs to try to get them to see the socialization process is due to you having low self-esteem because your parents have not fulfilled your physiological or safety needs. They haven't fulfilled these two, so you can't feel like you love and belong. And what is a high school student? They only are focused on what? Love and belonging. What is our goal as parents? To make sure that our kids can take care of themselves, which is what? Physiological, breathing, eat, sleep, shelter, reproduction, and safety. When you graduate high school, I want you to be able to go what? Go to college. Can you feed yourself? Can you take care of yourself when you're at a mom and pop's house? So that's where I go to hopefully get and create a society of kids there that are all headed out of the city. And it's work. That's why, being an agent of change, we understand unconditional love because they're still kids. They're going to do kid stuff. It's life. It's light. They're supposed to make mistakes. But I love being able to be that person that's showing them unconditional love and support and mentorship throughout the good or bad, right? Because that's what we're supposed to do. We would want that same grace, right? We don't want to be written off because we did one thing bad. No, it's like, no, Mr. Jones is still here for you. Oh, you broke up with that boy? I told you, didn't I tell you? Yeah, Mr. Jones, yeah. So now you can trust me, right? I told you exactly what was going to happen. So now you know that you can listen to me and trust me, because wisdom comes from listening to somebody, and you don't have to experience more bad stuff to learn.
And on the second part of that question then, to break away from other kids that may not be a positive influence on you.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna hit you so wonderfully. I worked in prisons as a counselor, and then I became an officer / I was able to go outside and inside the prison. So I've worked at facilities where people are never getting out of prison, lifers. So being in that environment, having to educate men who are never getting out of prison, there's always hope with kids. Always. Because they're not locked up for life yet. So it's challenging, but even the mere fact that I never give up on them, even if I have to send them to a different site, that will buffer them from going to jail for life. And that's all I care about. Because looking at those dudes that are never getting out, going into those dorms and seeing their cells and knowing that this guy's been down for 35 years. If I can get in between that at all, I'm not going to give up on this kid. And, at my school site in the district, they really appreciate that, because it's like, yeah, how can you give up on kids, man?
We've got a few kids sitting here. Like, what would you say to kids like that need to probably be able to stand up for themselves and make their own decisions without getting...
Okay, here we go. Actually have the skills, right? Self-esteem comes from a lack of actually knowing what to do. So be fit, be healthy. That's one. Have your daily workout program. 2, learn some type of actual fighting style, whether it be boxing, Muay Thai, self-defense, jiu-jitsu, if you want to learn. I mean, you have several different apparatuses. I got a little hiking stick if you're into weapons. You got to learn how to set boundaries with people. I share with my son all the time, I never let anybody play with me. As soon as they were starting to talk that trash, I'd stop them. I don't play like that. As soon as you were starting to think you were bullying me, hey, I don't play like that at all. If you go here, we've taken it all the way up. And that has prevented me from being bullied. Thirdly, I would say do not take having people that love you for granted. If you have a parent, somebody that actually is showing you unconditional love and taking care of your needs, really value them, because I don't think we understand how many kids are unloved and unwanted. Dude, there's millions. I'm one of them, bro. Like, and you can't even describe it. And nobody understands it, because if you had a parent, you can't understand what my life is like when you've only had parents try to ruin you. It's like parents that are trying to kill their kids in different ways, and we only recognize a bad parent when they physically kill their kids, right? But any other thing, it's like, oh, no, that's your mom, that's your dad, when I'm sharing with you. And the kids, there are kids out there that have nobody that loves them. So if you have anybody that's in your corner, appreciate them. Compare, yes, and appreciate them. Fourthly, be a seller, not a buyer. Be a seller, not a buyer. Because all I can say throughout all my education, understanding, research, life, we're just in a world where we're being sold everything. They just want us to buy the clothes, the shoes, the drugs, or whatever. It doesn't matter. Buy this, and it goes deep. I was
this
thinking,
idea,
yeah,
this place.
I'll go a couple places. We talked about shoes, right? There were many different brands competing with Jordan when he was playing. There was many players competing with Jordan. Think about what I'm saying. Doesn't matter if he ended up being the best. Throughout his whole tenure, there were other players getting shoe deals. But these kids, they don't even know that Jordans are to play basketball in. They call Jordan a fashion shoe, which is what? They've been sold that. They debate LeBron and Jordan, not because it's debatable, but because you got to keep Jordan at the top of that pyramid so you can what? Continue to sell shoes. All right, here we go. Second piece, economics. Kids hate that class. But you know what I've understood this year? They're always going to raise the price because we're going to buy it. Right or wrong?
Absolutely.
We've proven that we'll spend a lot on stupid stuff, so why not raise the price of milk or gas? Think about it. Ain't nobody hurting that bad, but we're barely discovering this, right? Because we got TikTok. Somebody goes viral on TikTok, that stock goes up. So what are people saying? Oh, people have money to spend, right? So my last one is cars. They say when you drive off a lot, the car depreciates $40,000. No. You charge me $40,000 extra for the car.
I like that way of looking at it.
Or the camera.
Right,
Think
yeah,
about it.
yeah.
We just talked about cameras. It's not that there's a depreciation. It's you upcharge me.
Realignment.
If you bought any Apple products, easy. They'll charge you $800 for an iPad. You can go onto the site and try to resell it back, and it'll be like $200.
The only difference is Jordans.
Yeah, but
you buy them and you sell them for twice the amount in some cases.
But you know what I'm saying? But think about that. We don't learn that though. No, my whole life has been a farce, man. Like, okay, minimum wage. I'm going a couple places right now because I just want the kids to understand it. So let's say McDonald's is a private business. Okay? A person owns it, they make profit. So what does the world saying McDonald's employees need to be paid a certain amount really mean?
The price of how much you're going to be paying for a burger at McDonald's.
Well, but also, why is there a hand in what a private company employee? If you want to go work at McDonald's, that's your problem. But no, we shouldn't come together and say, well, that person that wants to work at McDonald's needs $20 an hour, because that affects all of us that are working and educating ourselves dangerously, right? Because that McDonald's employee did not want to go to school. They did not want to upgrade their skills, right? To where most of us, when we have our first job and we don't like it, what does that make us do? Go get an education. We go learn a new skill set, but you're now letting people.
Yeah, it's an interesting thing, but yeah, you're right. Like if you have your own business and you're not happy that it's not making enough money, what do? You go and find a better business.
Yeah, right. Because
no one comes to a business and
Yeah.
say, oh, by the way, I'll tell you what we're going to do. We're going to give you a minimum profit. You know, like
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying, because it's a private business.
Yeah, I get
So
it.
I like to make things so clear.
I'm sure there's counter arguments to that, but I get where you're going.
Well, I mean, there are, but I don't think that they would be successful, because once again, if you're a business owner and you hire somebody, it's a particular type of somebody that should only be here during this particular season. Such as, if I'm a fast food place, I'd probably hire high school students because it's menial labor. So if there's a 30-year-old person that does not want to go past menial labor, why should I be forced to pay them more when they didn't want to succeed more? Right?
Yeah.
Because we've had to work this hard to get here, right? It's like, last but not least, I'll tie in homelessness. We're not in the same space we were. These are people openly manipulating people to get drugs and consume items. And I don't mind you being homeless, but what I mind is you thinking that we have to pay for your consumption of items. Right? I'll always give you food, water, and a umbrella, but why do you want to consume items? Why are our cities littered with tents and items? You said you don't want a home. So why are you trying to build one off of us? Right? You're out here because you didn't want all these things. And it's fine. If you want to consume, you have to work. Come on, man.
That's an interesting conversation.
I know, but I just like to put it in four corners so we could kind of think. Because kids, I just want kids to think. Because think about kids, they're not thinking. They're just, where's my music? Where's my movie? Get out my face.
Well, I think that's partly the downside of things like social media and television and that in our generation. But yeah, it's very easy, as you say, just to turn your brain off, have this stuff force-fed into your head.
Yeah.
It goes into, particularly for young people, it goes into your brain, it sticks there, those ideas stick in your brain without you knowing that it's going in. And then suddenly it's kind of regurgitating itself out in how, without you even knowing it. On the way up here, we were listening to an audio, it was an old Jim Rohn one, but it was just about how you are getting infected with ideas without knowing it. And if you want to get infected about an idea, then just get infected with ideas that are going to actually sort of take you where you want to go.
And you ready?
Go on in.
Last but not least, let all my kids know they already did the research and this is the product. Where most people think that, they're studying it and now learning. No, they've done the research for 100 years to sell you that. Think about a reel, 6 seconds. You can hear something amazing, right? You hear life-changing information, and the next scroll up is a funny, stupid video of a cat. How does that affect the brain? To where when we read books, what we do? You read a book, you get a quote, you have a good conversation with the person, that will last. To where our kids, their focus in life is being taken away. And they don't even know it. And that's what I want to get in the middle of and have an army of young people equipped for the next generation to help other kids. Because it's not, I feel like it's not how it should be, man. We got too many things that we are actively fighting within our families, within our histories that we need to be working on, not just being entertained all day and thrown off.
Well, I'm glad we got people like you pushing that. And,
I'm in here, man. I got my life on it. I love it. Like, you can feel my energy. I just love everything I do, just assisting people, just getting through life, man.
Well, I think you got a
Yep, I do. I got to go.
There, so.
Yep, I sure do. That we getting ready.
Thank you.
King, I appreciate you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you've got any value from it whatsoever, then please do us a favor, like, subscribe, tell somebody, and that will help us to be able to continue to do more of these and help you escape your own personal limits. Thanks for listening.